Oh, where did Cooper Kupp go? Oh, where could he be? It's depressing. I really hate talking about this, but we have to discuss it. It's literally keeping me up at night. I can't figure out, I can't put my finger as to why. And it's not just injuries. It's not just the course of action. It's not just this is the way things go. Father Time's undefeated. Something is up. Because the misconception with Cooper Kupp, there's a few things. But the real one is that he lost a step this year. I actually would argue earlier in the year, he showed a lot. And that first game against the Lions, that was special. And you started to say, okay, then he gets the major injury against the Cardinals and comes back and still looks really good. He took a while to come back too, but week 8 against the Vikings and so forth, he looked good. So what the hell happened to Cooper Kupp? I'm going to get into it. Before I do, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Be sure to follow me on all social media at JKBogan, including Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and Kick. And in addition to that, just want to let you guys know that today's sponsor is Prize Picks. And I'll tell you right now, they got all the Rams and Eagles projections up. So right now you can get in on the action there. I'm not going to pick them yet. I'm going to wait as the week approaches. But what I will say is you could also get in on the action with Will Howard being a 0.5 passer yard. So essentially, very simple. He is a freebie. You play 2 to 6 players in your lineup. And the way it works is if you win, great. You keep the money. If you lose, doesn't matter. You're going to get $50 instantly, win or lose, when you play a $5 lineup using my code JKBogan. So check it out. The link is in the description below. All right. So in this video is not just going to be a talking head, okay? I am going to show you film. I am going to give you my rough notes, and by rough, they're rough. I mean, I do things a little differently. I don't write things down on a notepad. I use Apple Notes or Mac Notes or whatever, but I use the app and I just type away, and that's just the way my brain works. So apologies ahead of time, but my goal is that I've already done the research. I feel like I know what's going on here to an extent. I think I have an idea. But I don't know for sure, and I don't want to get anybody in trouble for something they haven't done. But I'll tell you right now, you will come away with this from this video feeling very different potentially about Cooper Kupp in multiple ways. So let's not waste any time. We'll get into the notes here. Fun fact, I just recorded this full video and my audio, for whatever reason, just wasn't connected. So it didn't pick up any audio. So I'm re-recording this and essentially cheating because I can make this way better than the last video was. So that's my goal. All right. These are my ridiculous notes. So we got win rate, separation score, all through fantasy points data. Shout out to Blaine Grisack for pointing me in their direction. They are fantastic. I love the wide receiver, deep advanced analytics. I like analytics, combine them with tape. That's always been my thing. I don't like when analytics are the end-all be-all, but here's the deal. The tape shows me Cooper Kupp is not separating as of right now. However, on the year, for him to get a 14.9% win rate and this separation score that puts him at 34th in the league of all wide receivers, but then have a separation score of 89th in weeks 14 through 17 plus the wildcard game, and a win rate of 9%, which is 74th out of all wide receivers, it tells me that before that cluster of games, week 14 through 17 in the wild card, he was doing a decent job. And so I really do want to highlight this because it's not as simple as to say Cooper Kupp has lost it. I don't know if he has. That's the fascinating thing. I think there's a chance that he's banged up and just playing through it. Something is up, and we're going to get to the bottom of it. Okay, so looking at this, you see he's third in the team in horizontal win rate, horizontal percentage. He's second in the team in vertical, right? So you see all this stuff. This is good. Well, here's the deal. The 2024, this cluster right here, this is not good at all. Like, where did my 34th receiver in the league separation-wise go? I'll take that. I'll take a wide receiver 2 out of Cooper Kupp because that's what that is. 46 in the league is still a wide receiver 2, in my opinion. I will take that. Where did that go? Because now 89th and 74th kind of speaks volumes. It kind of speaks to what I've been saying about why Whittington needs to be on the field. So let's dive more into it. What happened to Cooper Kupp? The 8 games that he played before the Bills game. Weeks 1, 2. Then he had the bye week, and he took time off, of course, with the injury, the ankle, rehabbing. And then weeks 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Then the Bills game, which we cut off. Why? The misconception is that the Bills, he had 5 catches for 92 yards. He had a 37-yard explosive that was thrown over the top by Matthew Stafford, vertical plane and everything. The misconception is that Cooper Kupp looked really good against the Bills. And he did, but just not the way that Cooper Kupp is supposed to look. See, we oftentimes think when a guy's lost a step, what does that mean? People associate that with speed and athleticism. Cooper Kupp has the speed. That's not my concern. When you watch him on tape, he was the fastest. He was actually, according to Next Gen Stats, the fastest Ram ball carrier on Monday Night Football against the Vikings in the wild card. So am I worried about his long speed? No, not at all. I actually like him to operate on a vertical plane. I like him to have a ball underthrown and be able to come back to it and play the ball, the 50-50 ball. Cooper Kupp's ball skills are so underrated because people look at him and they forget he's 6'2" because he'd been running out of the slot and running routes like crazy. But the separation isn't there anymore, and he's kind of adjusted his game to now being that type of guy. The problem is the Rams haven't entirely been willing to do that. They still want to do right by him. It's very clear because there's no other reason the Cooper Kupp that is out there right now should be out there over Jordan Whittington or Tutu Atwell or guys that were clearly separating. And by the way, Demarcus Robinson, yeah, he has been benefiting a lot from Cooper Kupp earlier in the year, and now all of a sudden he's falling off. So interesting, right? A lot of people will say it's because Puka Nacua, the emergence of Puka Nacua, the force feed of Puka. It's not that because Kupp isn't separating. Like, he's not doing things he was doing before. So it's not Puka Nacua because I don't care if Stafford throws to Nacua or not. What I am showing you are stats that are measured whether you get the ball thrown your way or not. So that's my thing, okay? Anyway, you look at the out wide alignment here, and this is during this cluster, which, by the way, put him at 26th in the league in that cluster of games separation, which will take all day. That's a starting wide receiver, top, wide receiver 1, right? Maybe not your go-to top receiver in the league, but that's wide receiver 1's top 32. And then 35th in win rate, 16.9%, which actually outdoes his 14.9 when you factor in the entire year. That's a 2 percentage point difference. So that's significant. Then you look at the out wide alignment and you see 3rd in the NFL in that span of separation score. So this guy is now winning on the outside, which is hilarious because back when we were trying to justify Cooper Kupp being the best wide receiver in the league over Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase, people would always hold it against him that he was working out of the slot. But in reality, it looks like Cooper Kupp has become a better outside receiver than a slot receiver. His win rate was 22.1% during that span, 8th in the NFL. And mind you, he was working with Puka Nacua at this point in time. As you can see, those first 2 games, no, the rest of the year he has. And so that's an interesting thing. So then you have the slot alignment, and he's 23rd in the NFL in separation score and 19th in the NFL in win rate. You look at man coverage, and against man coverage, he's 11th in that span. These are wide receivers among the NFL wide receivers, and a win rate of 23.6, which is he's doing a really nice job. Zone coverage, 13th in the NFL, 22nd in the NFL. And look at this thing, red zone separation score, according to Fantasy Points data, second in the NFL and second in win rate, 30.8, only behind Demarcus Robinson in both categories, who is the only one that finished higher in that cluster of games than Cooper Kupp in separation score and win rate. Very, very bizarre, okay? Horizontally breaking routes. He has a 31.9% win rate in that span, 5th in the cluster, and 6th in separation score, which is something that he is absolutely struggling with as of right now. And then vertical, he had a separation score in the 21st in the cluster and 14th in the NFL in that cluster of games. So what do we make of that? Well, we make that Cooper Kupp is clearly a different player right now than he was before that Bills game. Did he get hurt in the Bills game? Was it too much for him? I don't know. But the reality is, when you go back and you watch the games and you watch this, you look at this data, it very clearly states that Cooper Kupp with Matthew Stafford, he was putting together numbers. Okay? And I mean, we saw that. The Lions game, he catches 14 of 21 passes for 110 yards and a touchdown. Okay? Then he gets hurt in the Cardinals game. Comes back, catches a touchdown, 50 yards, 5 catches against the Vikings week 8. Week 9 against Seattle, he goes for 11 catches for 104 yards. Okay? And then he has 7 catches for 80 against the Dolphins. He has 6 for 106 and 2 touchdowns against the Patriots. He has 8 for 60 and a touchdown against the Eagles. And the numbers separation-wise against the Saints were really good. He didn't really get into any of the columns or anything, just the 3 catches for 17. But to that point, Cooper Kupp is having a pretty good year. No one would be complaining about that output. What they're complaining about is after the Bills game, it's 0 catches, 0 yards against the 49ers, 3 catches for 24 yards, 1 catch for 29, 1 catch for 29. You just had back-to-back games, the Cardinals and the Vikings game, where you caught 1 pass, a big explosive for 29 yards, and that's all you did. Now, Cooper Kupp still is a good blocker, but I am not worried about his blocking, okay? I'm worried about his route running. You go back to 2023. His win rate for the season, 61st in the league. This was ahead of Jamar Chase, for the record. His separation score, though, 56th in the league, was behind Odell Beckham. You know, that washed guy everybody always says is washed. By the way, that's a misconception. I don't think Odell's washed. I do think he can still separate at a decent level. Some of his, he wasn't utilized a ton with the Dolphins, and this is in that type of video, but he actually got open more than you would think in limited opportunities. He was 4th in the team in terms of horizontally breaking routes, vertically breaking routes. He was 1st on the team. Static routes, he was 3rd on the team, and 4th on the team in shallow and underneath. Now, these are win percentages. So he was winning horizontally in 2023. He just had a 0% win percentage in the horizontal game this past week on Monday, okay? Then you go to 2022. They unfortunately don't have the 2021 stats in the fantasy points data, but what they do have is 2022. And what people might not remember is that Cooper Kupp was still that elite Triple Crown wide receiver in 2022, had a win rate of 27.7 overall, which is 18th. Also, funny enough, ahead of Chase. Separation score, 25th in the league, ahead of Mike Evans, who, by the way, separates like hardly anybody in the league now. I don't understand it. Guy ran a 4.6. He is so good at separating. First in the league in horizontal win rate at 46.7. Vertical, 22.9%. Third on the team. Static, 27%. Second on the team. And shallow, 5.5%. Fourth on the team. Then you look at Jordan Whittington down here, okay? And you see the separation score. He's 20th in the NFL in the span of weeks 2 through 5 and 18. That might come as not much of a shock, and people might say that's way too small of a sample size. But I wanted to be fair to him. Games where he had an actual feature in the offense and had at least 20 snaps, I put him in there. And he had 20th. He was 20th among the NFL in separation score. He was 57th in win rate during that time. Horizontally, he was 7th in separation, 10th in win rate, and vertically he was 6th in the NFL in separation and 22nd, that's wrong, in NFL in win rate. So is this a video to, am I pulling one over on you? Am I saying now, rug pull, this is a Jordan Whittington video, got you? No. Because I really do want to show you what is happening. Cooper Kupp is not the same receiver. It's bizarre. And the Bills game just kind of had the illusion because he had 5 catches for 92 yards and a touchdown, had a 37-yard explosive. No, guys, the problem is he can run. He's having a hard time cutting. And if you tried to defend him, he'd own you. If I tried to defend him, he'd own me. But in the NFL, when everybody's fast, and there are guys that are playing in the slot, there are guys that are playing on the outside that make it really difficult to get off the line of scrimmage for anybody. It's going to be tough if you're not able to move like that. And horizontally, Cooper Kupp is not moving well anymore. It's just not happening. Vertically, he looks good. And we're going to get to the film here. So we have Arizona up, but let's go back to the Minnesota game. So this is what we just saw. We're only going to look at Cooper Kupp's routes. You got Kupp here, okay? And really what we're trying to see is, does he still move well? Like, that looks good. He's being held there. He's open. Now, I also want to say, a great throw, by the way, by Stafford. I want to point out something. I do want to say that Stafford, and I already saw the numbers, it's clear as day, because the turnover-worthy plays since, I believe it was week 8, he has thrown the fewest turnover-worthy throws in the league. I mean, it's been insane. But this guy is trying to take care of the ball better. He's not trying to throw interceptions. So I think there are a few of these plays where he has Kupp. You see him over here. Or actually, yeah, he's right there. See, like, he doesn't move. There's something weird going on. Like, he just doesn't look like Kupp. There are moments where you see it, like, okay, when he goes to the vertical plane, but like some of those like static routes and quick slants and things like that, it just doesn't have that that juice that he once had. But the point I want to make here about Stafford, and to be fair to Kupp, is that I think there are times where he has, Kupp open in terms of Stafford from 2023. But 2024 Stafford has turned over a new leaf and is really not trying to throw those tight window throws if he doesn't have to. He can make any throw in the book, no doubt. But he is trying to take care of the football. When your defense is playing the way it is and your offense is playing the way it is and it hasn't been necessarily great, well, you want to take care of the football. Playoff time, this really helps. I've been really impressed with Stafford's decision-making as of late, and I think he's done the right thing. But here we got Cooper Kupp in the slot this time around. And we're going to see here. See, that a nice little rocker step gets him, and he has him open, but, it's a little too late. And there's definitely tugging. But that's the thing. Another one where you get him going vertically. Like, watch this again. Here's Kupp. And he goes vertically. That's the concern here, is that it's like everything is vertical. Like he did not win once horizontally in this game. Not once. So here he is. There he's wide open. Like, you could throw that. So that's that was good, right? But again, mainly a vertical thing. You already get there and then you cut over, and he did round that off a little bit, but like Kupp's caught that a million times. Why did Stafford not throw it to him? I don't know. Is there, a disconnect with Stafford and Kupp? I don't know. But here we have Kupp now. This is trips. You're going to see Cooper Kupp. And this is just blocking. Like, you can't really make too much out of that. But it really is fascinating because going back and watching, like, say, 2021 Kupp, he just moved differently. Like, and again, I understand the injuries, and I've talked about it. I'm aware of it. But what doesn't make sense to me is before the Bills game, he looked totally like I could live with that. Okay, there he is again. See, like that, I mean, he just doesn't. It's not a bad route, but there's just, I don't know. Maybe it's me. But I'm sure people are going to see it. And you saw the stats. I put the stats out there. And again, I would rather have Kupp go back to the way it was. I want him to turn back the clock. But right now, he's not the same player. It's not hate. It's genuine. All right, here he is. Out wide. See, look at that. Wide open. And he's on that vertical plane again. You see it and you're like, okay, this is how the Rams are going to have to operate with Cooper Kupp, in my opinion. And I don't think they're going to make this decision. I think that you've seen more vertical, but here he is again on the outside, not really lining up in the slot anymore. I mean, he does occasionally, but not as much as he used to. He used to be primarily in the slot. Now here he is. See, like, that's fine. If he throws that over the top, but good. He probably should have thrown it to Kupp. But this is what I'm talking about, is that the vertical game, his speed is still there. It's when he's making these cuts that he used to absolutely just demolish his opponents. He'd do such a nice job. He'd leave them in the dust. It's just not the same. And so the Rams either have to adapt to his style or, they need to figure something else out. Now, here he is, Kupp at the top of the screen. Once again, out wide. Yeah, see, no separation on that. If he took that vertical, and he's not, I want to also make it clear, I don't think he's necessarily destroying guys either vertically. But you can win with that. Like Stafford's, bucket throws, you can hit that throw. I do think he is starting to lock on a little bit to Nakua, very reminiscent to Cooper Kupp in 2020 with Jared Goff. Now you got Cooper Kupp in the slot. So they do mix things up, don't get me wrong. Now you motion out. See, Cooper Kupp going straight down the field, he just looks so much better. And he's always had that part of his game. I think since he came back from the torn ACL, 2019, I always say he's way more explosive. He ran faster. But it's fascinating to me watching this. And I've already seen this, but I'm showing it to you. I mean, this isn't the same Cooper Kupp. I mean, Cooper Kupp was the offense multiple times. Again, like he has no issue getting downfield. His long speed, his straightaway speed is not an issue. So you can see what I'm talking about. Now let's go back to, let's say, Arizona here. Maybe he looked better in the Minnesota game than Arizona. Okay, so this is the game that they essentially locked up the division. Kupp is on the bottom. See, like, I just don't... I don't know. He just doesn't feel like he's 100%. And, this could very well be, a lot of this could be like, we're just trying to get Puka the ball. And we don't really care. So there's Kupp. Now you get the motion. I mean, that was just, it is what it is. I don't necessarily blame Kupp on that play. I didn't really like that play call when they made it. So, and you're not going to see anything from that angle. Pretty much the sideline view is going to be the best, I think, for this. But there, Kupp is on the bottom of your screen. Now he's going to motion. Okay, out wide. Now you see it. Wide open. he's wide open there, but it's weird because it doesn't look that way with the guy over here. But it's kind of surprising. Like, Stafford's really not throwing. Like, this is the throw that he would have made in the past. He would have been throwing to that Cooper Kupp right there. I mean, he's wide open. And he takes the check down. Now, I'm not hating. I like this because, okay, you're leaving, maybe a 30-yard play on there, but now in giving up that 30-yard explosion because you're deciding not to go that route, you're taking the safe call. The way your defense is playing, I can't disagree with that decision. Now you got him chip there. Nobody's down there. See, it's fascinating, guys. It really is. Wish there were shortcuts. Oh, yeah, there. Okay. That'll be easier than just using a mouse. Okay, so slot right there. See, you saw that immediately. Look at explodes, and then guy's right on him. Watch this. See? Explodes. And then he slows down, and look at how much ground this guy makes up. This is what I'm talking about. It's like, I don't want to call him washed. I don't like that term, but also I just don't feel like, I don't think this is him. Like, I feel like there's something up. Like, he's playing hurt. There's something going on. The ankle, which is not a shock. A guy with multiple ankle surgeries and everything, and he's having issues. That's not a shock. There he is in the slot. Yeah, not really much you can do there. But, I mean, again, that wasn't bad. But you see a lot of these, they're not these quick slants anymore. They're not really using him vertically. They don't trust him vertically. They're really trying to get him going on the vertical plane. And I think it's smart. But at the same time, it's like, if he's not being thrown at this point, why not put in Whittington, spice things up, So there he is. Kupp's right there. Motion. I love the way they called this. That was beautiful play calling by Sean McVay. You motion in the guy that's going to block. I really do like that they did that. Okay, I'm not going to bore you. I'm not going to show you everything, but here he is again. Now he's wide open. That's a good route. But, I don't have an issue with him coming back. Stopping on a dime. It's him cutting. Going, horizontally instead of vertically. That's a great throw. Good Lord. And he moves well. Like, when he's moving forward, Kupp looks totally fine. Is he 2021 Cooper Kupp? Probably not. But anyway. That's him. There he is. Is Stafford just not throwing his way? I mean, he has been open a little bit more than maybe you would think. It's really, I don't know, man. It's really fascinating to me. Here's Kupp again. So that's Arizona. I mean, we're not going to do all the plays. It just kind of gives you an idea. Now let's look at Detroit. Because Detroit, there were 50 plays. And let's just do this. Let's look at the plays in which he had at least a target. 21 targets. Crazy, right? 21 targets for Cooper Kupp. Guy is only getting one target a game now. All right, so there he is. Bottom of your screen. Well, that didn't do anything. Was that blocked? I mean, no. That just not ideal at all. That's his first catch. He definitely paid for that one. Now look at already dangerous throw. I don't know if Stafford's even throwing that today. Like how cautious he's been with the football. I don't think he even throws that today. Maybe he does. I don't think so. So, all right. You're going to get 11 yards out of Kupp on this one. There he is in the slot. Yeah, let's look at this again. Okay. That's not the same guy. I'm telling you. Kupp was destined to have a 1,000-yard season after this game. He looks so good. He looked like he was back. He had some really good games after this. I mean, later, but so then, yeah. So this is Carlton Davis on him. So he's there. There we go. Yeah, dude, come on. Like that. That's what I'm talking about. Look at how quick this is. This isn't even the same receiver. Like, not even that he burned him that or anything like that. It's just a quick slant, but just he moves so much better than he does now, in this one than he does now. Cooper Kupp, motion. Yeah, it's really upsetting because if Cooper Kupp was healthy right now, this offense would be totally fine. Or not healthy because we don't know if he's injured, but he's not himself. I think that's definitely fair to say. You look back at these, and obviously I understand time went on and later on in the year it's tougher, especially when you're a veteran, but he missed a lot of games. See, that's just easy. I mean, I know he broke it up, but that's just easy for him. Now they don't even try that anymore. They do not even try. So let's do this one. The 21-yarder to Kupp with Terion Arnold on him. So he's going to be right here, bottom of your screen. Motioning. Yeah, look at the separation on that. I know he's a rookie, but come on now. Watch this again. That's separation, folks. Hate to break it to you. That's what we're looking for. Not him being here and then Kupp being here. Kupp's here. This is a catch. This is not a tight window throw at all. This is going to be a tight window throw. This is a really tough throw and probably one that would be not advised. But Kupp stepped up in this game, and people, whether they forgot about it or not, this game was 17-3. And the Rams came charging back. And, it was the fourth quarter. They're losing 17-10. They end up taking control of this game. They do end up blowing it. But, I just want to know, what happened. I hate not knowing, It's what do you make of this? Chat, what do you make of this? Put it in the comments section below. I'm very curious what people are going to say. It's a different type of video. I normally don't have, a bunch of stats and everything like that. I normally don't, do a ton of, game film. But NFL has been fair about their fair use lately, so I've been getting away with it. Okay, so that's Cooper Kupp. No, that was Cooper Kupp. What the hell happened? Okay. So Cooper Kupp is right there in the slot. He comes out here. I didn't like the throw, but I think entirely like he's throwing it away in that moment. Knows that there's not really a play. It just is what it is. Like, see, this isn't even... Well, I won't say he was throwing it out. I think he was trying to make a crazy play, and it just didn't work out. He ran out of real estate. I remember Kupp catching that, too. Man, doesn't week 1 feel like forever ago? It's wild. Cooper Kupp is right here. Motions. Yeah, there's a little added thing to his step. And I just feel like he's just able to separate way better at this point in time. Like you see there, that wasn't really a contested catch. So this is for no gain. Let's see if we can find something here. This is a 20-yarder. So we got Kupp over here. Pistol formation. Kupp shoots back over here. Now let's see what he does. Oh, it's just a vertical. Yeah. And it's good stuff. And he gets his feet in bounds. We love that. Okay, touchdown. And then we'll look at... Yeah, the touchdown's good. And then we'll go on to another game. Okay. We got Cooper Kupp here. Kupp in motion. Comes back. Touchdown. So then we'll go with... I think that's it, actually. Yeah. So anyway, point being here, and actually we can do something real quick here. Cooper Kupp receiving touchdown. I thought Kupp had a touchdown. What the hell's going on? Oh, it says week 17. We'll just do all. There we go. So with 6 touchdowns, we'll look at, see if we can find anything in particular. We'll watch this again. Oop, don't want to get copyright claimed. Might have done that already by putting it in full screen. Creature of habit, I know. Yeah, I mean, that's just a straight ahead, off to the flat. By the way, these passes are going to be very important against the Eagles. If you want to attack that, cover 6, that's going to be where you're going to want to throw it. So we could see that, especially at the goal line. We'll see what ends up happening. Then you had the Cooper Kupp touchdown in week 8. So he scored a touchdown week 1, then got hurt in week 2 on a horrible ankle injury. And there he is in the slot here. And dude, this is what I'm talking about. Look at this. Is Kupp doing... This is a great example of what Kupp is not doing today. It doesn't matter if he wants to or not. His body does not move like this right now. That is a great cut. And then he comes back over the improvisational skills of Stafford. He knows they have that rapport. And there you go. That's what happened. Okay, that right there, that rep is all you need to know. That is not the same Cooper Kupp out there today. It is not. Hopefully he comes back. This, by the way, is an incredible freaking play. Good Lord. But there's just no way. You can't watch that play and tell me that's the same Cooper Kupp today. And then we'll see here. I believe he's that. Oh, dude. Dude. This is what I'm talking about. Look at how easy it is for him. We're not going to get anything from that angle. That is not happening. Guys are closing in on that. Like, this is what I'm talking about. I know don't get me wrong. I know Tyler Johnson draws this corner, opens this up. Beautiful play call, by the way. But, I mean, look at this. They have no chance. You get to this point, and it's like he's not going to be able to catch up. And Kupp made this is a aggressive cut. There you go. So that was against the New England Patriots. Like, where is that now? You know? I just don't see it. Then he catches this one, and this is Kupp today. Kupp could do this right now. The vertical game of Kupp is what is going to keep him around and what is going to give him value. And what I need to know really is, this week against the Eagles, this is do or die. You are not going to be in a 27-9 game. You are going to need Cooper Kupp. If he is starting and you choose him to start, which they will, he is going to need to be more than just a big name on the field. He made a great catch against the Vikings. I'm not taking away from that. But you need to use him. Okay, you need to actually throw him the football. This catch I didn't even see live because I was shaking hands with people and meeting with people at SoFi. But you see here, and again, it's Kupp using that speed to get behind the defense. We'll watch again here. And then holding on to the football, of course, because he is contacted while in the catch process. I mean, it's the same thing with the Bills game, which, by the way, again, we're about to see what people are talking about or, what people aren't talking about, essentially, with the Bills game. What a beautiful throw by Stafford. He was really good in the Eagles game. I'm not going to lie. I think the game got away from them, obviously. I thought the hold call when they were at the 14-yard line, it was 27-13, knocking on the door. That hurt. But yeah, let's look at this. So Kupp is out here. Look at vertically, Kupp is really good. Then he goes up and high points the football. He is that kind of 50-50 guy. You can underthrow him and set him up to come back to the football and play to his strengths. That is just who he is. So right now, this is the way Kupp is going to help the Rams because he is not winning horizontally. He is winning vertically. So the Rams are going to have to utilize him in that boat. If that means Jordan Whittington has to play and be that guy, horizontally, it is what it is. But this needs to happen, folks. It has to happen. It's gotten to that point where you're like, all right, I love Cooper Kupp. I want to see him do well. But does it make any sort of sense right now to keep him out there? If they're not going to utilize him, if they're trying to do some things and they're hurting their team because they want to be loyal to him, this is the playoffs. Do you want to go to a Super Bowl or not? So I'm hoping. This is my hope. I'm not saying this will be the case. I do have to say he ran better in that, the Vikings game the wild card game over the Cardinal game. I did not like him in week 17 against the Cardinals. I really did not like the way he looked. Kind of looked banged up, really exhausted, all of that. So this is what we're going to have to see. The Eagles game, this is it. If he needs, they need him to step up. And if he can't do it, somebody else needs the job. But in conclusion, what happened to Cooper Kupp? We don't know. We do know that there are possibilities here. We know, first off, Cooper Kupp is getting older. He's 31. But I'm sorry. I'm not buying it. I watched Larry Fitzgerald catching 1,000-yard seasons above age 35. Okay? I'm not buying that. So I don't think it's the age. I think it's very fair to say the ankle issues have caused him harm. They have held him back. That is definitely fair to say. It is certainly possible. And we'll bring up the injury history here, according to Draft Sharks. And as you can see, he's got a chance of injury in 2024 was 53.8. A medium risk, which is interesting. Chance of injury per game is 4.4%. They give him a pretty high durability score. Projected missed games was 1.4. So this is his injury history. You go back to 2017. He had a groin pull, no big deal. He had a concussion. Then he had an MCL sprain that caused him to miss 2 games in 2018. Then, unfortunately, that same year, he tears his ACL and ends up missing. He ended up missing the Super Bowl, so he wasn't ready for that. Then he's good. 2019, 2020, nothing. Like, really just cool as a cucumber, no issues, no injuries. And then January 9th, 2021, he suffers a knee bruise in the wild card game against the Seahawks and ends up not playing against the Packers, which was huge and critical. They needed Cooper Kupp. They didn't have Aaron Donald either. Goff was playing with 9 fingers readily available to him. Just wasn't great. Then in 2022, while he stays healthy all of the Super Bowl season, in 2022, he suffers an ankle sprain. This is the one where he gets rolled up on against the Cardinals. Then he has the ankle sprain later on. Oh, no, he had that. Then he gets this against Arizona, where he needs to get tightrope surgery. And then August 1st, 2023, he suffers a hamstring strain, which isn't great. That's in August. He misses 4 weeks. Then he gets another ankle injury in 2023. He does play. But then this year, another ankle injury. And you see these ankle injuries pile up. Grade 1, unspecified grade 1. Then you get a grade 3 high ankle sprain. You get a grade 3 high ankle sprain, which isn't great. And you miss 5 games of your season. So with a guy that's had a lot of wear and tear on his body, as far as this goes, I mean, look at this. Surprisingly, this whole leg, actually. Because look at all that to his ankle, to his knee, to his thigh, to his groin. Nothing on this side of his body. So his left foot, his left leg is good, but everything on the right leg is not good. Like, the fact that he even has all that stuff on his resume is a concern. That said, he got hurt, okay? We just looked at the Patriots. We just looked at the Vikings game. He got hurt in week 2 this year. That was when he got hurt. And guess what? He came back and looked really good. And then the Bills game happened and he didn't look really good. So I have to just conclude this. I don't think Puka Nacua had anything to do with it. Nacua played the Patriots game. Nacua played the Vikings game. I don't think Puka Nacua had anything to do with Kupp's lack of separation. I don't think it's any play calling. I don't think so. The reality is Cooper Kupp, over the course of the season, even though he missed 5 games because of injury, has worn down. That is my thing. He's worn down. Either that or he is playing with an existing injury and not saying anything about it. But I think he's worn down. I think the bye week, week 18, sitting all those guys, the key contributors and everything, sitting Cooper Kupp was smart because he's on your team one way or another. You're loyal to him. You want him to play, fine. But you got to sit him week 18. He needs the breather. There were points in this game I brought up multiple times where he was open. We got to be fair here. He was open. And again, I'm not against Cooper Kupp. I just want to know the truth. He was open, and Stafford missed him. So I think there's a combination of Stafford missing him, not missing him with the throw, but missing him just his eyes. Stafford also wanting to play more conservative. And by more conservative, I mean not ultra aggressive where you're turning the ball over like crazy. You're not just playing, just gunslinger, right? But at the same time, I do think he's getting worn down. Like, meaning if next year he comes back, I expect the start of his season to look really good and then maybe fall off. But at the same time, I really lean towards he's banged up. And it wouldn't be the first time. I remember Kayvon Webster, friend of the Downtown Rams podcast early on. And, he came on as a guest and he told me just straight up, he's like, yeah, I tore the labrum in my shoulder and I played through it the whole year because I didn't want to lose my job. That's the NFL. That is the NFL. Puka Nacua all of a sudden became the starting wide receiver. He became the number one receiver. If Kupp got hurt again right now, he's probably not back. So it's not as simple as to say that he's banged up right now or injured, but my feeling is that he's not 100%. And I think it's definitely fair to say vertically he looks good, horizontally he doesn't. And yeah, those are my thoughts. Really curious what you guys think. Very different video. But man, I am hoping for a miracle for Cooper Kupp. I would want nothing more than to eat crow. I would want nothing more than for this video to age horribly. That's my hope. I don't care about being right. I just want Cooper Kupp to be okay, and I want him to be back. Because he was different. Even 2022, he was different. By the way, a lot of those numbers, you'd be surprised. Allen Robinson, lot of separation vertically. Cooper Kupp, a lot of separation horizontally. It's really fascinating. 2022, people look at as, I think they overanalyze it. Oh, it didn't have depth, all of that. I think it was just really banged up. I think if that team stayed healthy, even just a little bit, they probably win 9 games. But it all kind of just poured on them. The Bills game didn't help. Losing 4 of the 5 offensive linemen to start the season didn't help. It wasn't easy. So yeah, those are really my thoughts. I'm curious what you guys think about Cooper Kupp. Drop them in the comment section below. Again, I mean, no disrespect, but I wanted to bring it to you guys fresh, everything, with the injury history, with my stats, and of course, with the film. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. It wasn't like a crazy breakdown film. I'm fully aware of that. It's just to give you a visual. So while you're pondering the analytics, now you got a visual behind it. And I was fair. I showed everything from, his Cardinals game in week 17, his week 1 game against the Lions, his week 8 game against the Vikings, and the wild card game. And I just think the conclusion is he's either hurt or he's wearing down over the course of the season. And I can understand wearing down and I can understand him being hurt, but at some point or another, if you need something to go in this game, and he's not third in Kupp anymore. This used to be your go-to guy on third down. That's Nakua, right? Even Atwell has made some crazy third down catches, and Whittington should be in there as well. I think they're really going to have to monitor this situation. We'll see what goes on. I could be a total idiot. He could come out and absolutely ball out, and guess what? I hope he does. I don't care. I don't care if I'm wrong. I don't. But I want him to be back to where he was. He's 31, not 39. I wouldn't rule it out, but I also wouldn't feel confident in it either. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Be sure to follow me on all social media at JKBogan. And in addition to that, special shout out and thank you for today's sponsor, Prize Picks. Take care, folks. Later. And just a quick reminder, my new YouTube channel, if you want to support me further, it is The Lounge. I'll be having all sorts of guests from athletes, entrepreneurs, musicians, artists, actors, you name it. I am going to bring them on. So I'm looking forward to this show. It's going to get off the ground very shortly. We're over 500 subscribers. So it'd be really awesome to get to 1,000 before we even drop our first video, which will be soon. That's asking a lot. But if you haven't already, be sure to hit the subscribe button. And can't wait to see you guys there. In case you guys haven't noticed, I do have a Discord channel for my community on this channel. And if you want to be a part of it, it is free. The link is in the description below. You can sign up. This is basically a 24/7 Rams channel, and we are almost at 1,100 members. So if you want to be a part of it, just hit the link in the description below.